The Rock never even used to have abs. Even when he was in his younger years, never had a six-pack. But now at 52, he suddenly found the answer. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going over The Rock's new diet and training program. It's brand new. He just finished bulking up. He's the biggest he's ever been, jacked, but he's got a new movie role. He's playing a UFC fighter. He's got to stay athletic, shredded, and so on. So we're going to go over his brand new diet and training program. And so in case you didn't know, it's his birthday was May 2nd. He's 52 years of age, and he looks incredible. And as you can see, The Rock literally has abs popping out through his shirt, and so whatever he's doing, it's clearly working, and I'm sure he's doing it 100% natural, because after all, imagine if The Rock came out and said, hey, I'm on this, I'm on that.
Just finished cardio, my morning cardio. Thank you so much for all the support too as well.
And so apparently part of his training is he goes for swims fully clothed, as there's not 1 ounce of dryness on his shirt. Now, Rock, I get it. You're the hardest worker in the room, and clearly that's evident by the amount of sweat you have on your clothing.
But anyway, just thank you guys so much for all of it. I really appreciate it. Working my ass off. This is truly a team effort to be able to do something like this.
And so he's working harder than last time, and he wants you to know that. And why do I know that? Because he recorded this after doing his morning cardio session. He does fasted cardio in the morning while taking in 100, 150, or 200 milligrams of caffeine. And yes, coffee is a stimulant. It's going to give you more energy. But at The Rock's level at age 52, there are other products he could be taking that will give you even more energy. For example, he could be taking pre-workout 3.0. There are other pre-workouts there. There are other ingredients aside from caffeine that can help you to get more energy. I mean, imagine at 52 going about your day without taking GO2 Max. It has NMN, going to give you more energy to go harder than last time, harder than ever before.
I do cardio on an empty stomach like I just did. When I wake up, I have a little bit of caffeine, maybe 100, 150 milligrams, maybe 200. Have some aminos with that.
First things first, if you're taking in aminos and taking in caffeine, it's not technically an empty stomach. And is there a benefit to doing cardio on an empty stomach? The answer is no, there is not. It's his choice. It's his preference. It's not going to help him to burn more fat, to stay more shredded, to have more energy. And in fact, it could do quite the opposite. If you get up and you don't have the energy to push hard, he's doing interval training, then it's going to prevent you from getting the most out of your workout. And so my suggestion, don't get up and do empty stomach cardio. At least get up and eat some protein. That is your first opportunity for muscle protein synthesis to occur. And so why would you skip your protein before doing cardio? After all, later you're going to see he consumes a post-workout shake. There is no evidence to support that there is an anabolic window that you need a post-workout shake. I don't understand who The Rock's coaches are. I don't know who his trainers are, because they tell him some things to do, yet forget to tell him others. For example, Rock, there's something called a fan. There's small portable fans. I take them with me to the gym. People see me at the gym all the time. They're thinking, wow, what a great idea. And in case you didn't know, sweating doesn't represent how many calories you're burning. For example, if you go outside and exercise in the cold, it's not going to burn less calories than if you go out and exercise in 100-degree weather. The only difference is it's going to be harder to put out the same amount of power, the watts, the calories burned. And so when you're overheated, you actually limit your ability to burn as many calories. And so, for example, when people set marathon records, they don't do so in blistering heat. They do so in cooler environments. And so, Rock, as your coach, as your trainer, the first thing I would tell you is you don't need to sweat so much. You're actually allowed to stay cool. The cooler you are, the more you're going to be able to put out power, the more in shape you're going to be, and the more fit you're going to become. And so what you're doing, sweating through your shirt, yeah, it looks cool, dripping sweat down your face, but in reality, it's not helping you become a better athlete. And so consider this. He wakes up in the morning and he has caffeine. Now, what studies show is it's better to limit your caffeine till later in the day. At least wait 90 minutes to 2 hours. By saving your caffeine for later, it prevents you from having that afternoon crash. It's better to wake up in the morning, get in some sunlight, and allow your body to naturally wake up. And if you're struggling for some reason, it means you're not going to bed on time. And so rather than thinking, I need to make up for this with some caffeine, think, why don't I be proactive with my health and get to bed on time?
An hour later, I'm doing cardio. Did 40 minutes today, of interval cardio, I guess somewhat high intensity. It all depends on how you want to categorize it.
But remember The Rock, he's the hardest worker in the room. He's up at 4:30, he's having his caffeine, and an hour later, he's going to the gym. And so consider he's doing 40 minutes of cardio. That's an hour and 40 minutes after he's woken up. He still hasn't eaten yet. And so is he not limiting his ability to build muscle? But perhaps he has all those muscles because he's in secret. Perhaps he's taking Turk Builder. Is it possible? I mean, some people suggest that perhaps he's taking performance-enhancing drugs. We don't know that for sure, but maybe he's doing so through a natural environment. For example, Ecti Builder, GO2 Max, these products can most certainly help you to build more muscle or have better endurance than last time.
So it's basically almost a minute high intensity and then 2 minute recovery, but where you're keeping a really nice steady state. My heart rate averages at about 135, 140.
And so what he's rounding up to a minute of high intensity, that's actually moderate intensity. He describes his heart rate. It gets up to about 140, sometimes 145 during the last 10 minutes. When doing cardio, there's something known as cardiac drift. As you perform cardio longer, your heart rate is going to keep going higher and higher and higher. For example, in the first 20 minutes of a bike race, my heart rate might only reach 160, but towards the last 20 minutes, it may be 160 to 180. And so what The Rock's doing, he's going from zone 2 cardio, which is very beneficial, to a state of higher intensity, perhaps zone 3, maybe even zone 4. And so during those 40 seconds, he's going a little bit harder. This is the work session, and during the next 2 minutes, he's going a bit slower. And so he has a 1-to-3 work to rest ratio. He's resting about 3 times as long as he's going hard. This allows his body to recover, makes it easier. Now, the reason The Rock is able to do this every day is because it's not really all that hard. For example, 140, 145 max heart rate, I do that every single day. That to me is easy cardio. Now, if he were actually doing HIIT cardio where you go extremely hard, perhaps zone 4, zone 5, going all out, perhaps his heart rate be 170, then he would have to recover, and it would be not as beneficial to do this every day. It would lead to overtraining. And so on some days, I would suggest just do zone 2, perhaps for an hour and a half. And on other days with more intense exercise, you can go for perhaps 30 minutes. Go very, very hard for 1 minute. Rest for 2 to 3 minutes and repeat. See how you feel. By doing this, you're going to improve your VO2 max, which is in fact the number one predictor of longevity. The higher your VO2 max, the longer you're likely going to live, which is highly beneficial, especially for somebody who potentially maybe might use performance-enhancing drugs. Remember, if you do use performance-enhancing drugs, which we know The Rock would never do, please use blood work. Take care of your body, take care of your health, be proactive, do everything possible to be healthier than last time.
135, 140, sometimes I kick it up to 145 as well. Sometimes, all depends on what music hits. That final 10 minutes after I hit 30-minute mark.
Now remember, for The Rock, this means he's training really hard. We've seen his leg workout. We've seen how intense he goes. He's doing the bicycle leg press. He's lunging with 30 pounds. He's the hardest work in the room. And remember, he managed to do 3 giant sets of that in one single workout. Not many people, especially at 52, could ever do that. I mean, most people I know who train, for example, bikini competitions or who are just joining the gym could do it. But most people at 52, it's impossible.
I'm done now. I'll go home. I'll eat breakfast. I'll get some more work done. I'll eat again my lunch and then come back here to the gym and train on the weights.
Now, this actually makes sense. What the science shows is that if you separate your cardio from your weightlifting by at least 8 hours, you're going to have better results on both. If you combine weights and cardio at the same time, it's not as beneficial as separating it out. But remember this, The Rock is a full-time athlete, actor. This is his job. For most of you, you probably don't have time to go to the gym twice every single day. Even for Coach Greg, myself, I go to the gym once and I do both. I'll do cardio followed by weights, full body workout. I'd rather go to the gym for 2 hours, do it all at once, than go to the gym once and do it again. And is it perhaps more beneficial to separate them out? Well, yes, maybe according to the research, but I don't like that. I don't want to have to go to the gym twice. You got to drive there, come back, drive there again. It takes up most of your day. And so I'd rather just go to the gym, get in my cardio, and get my weights done after.
Oh, and then after my workout here on the weights, I do another 15 to 20 minutes of steady state cardio.
And so why is he now doing cardio again? We just said it's intelligent to separate cardio from your weights. And so why are we doing our cardio in the morning, doing weights in the afternoon, and then doing cardio again. Why are we training cardio twice a day? Is that actually beneficial? I don't think so. Why not get those extra 15 to 20 minutes done at the end of your morning cardio session? You're doing intervals for 40 minutes. Why don't we just cool down, do zone 2, the final 20 minutes, round it off to an hour? When you're doing cardio, do you really do 40 minutes? Or do you not want to see the magic 60 minutes? It's an hour. Most people, when they're doing sets of weights, they're thinking, I want to get 10 reps, 12, 15. Most people don't think my goal is to do 9, 7, 11 reps. How many times have you gone to the gym and done 56 minutes and 32 seconds of cardio? Do you not want to round it off to 60 minutes? Am I the only one out there that has a mental block of stopping before an hour?
Don't have to go that intense because I've already been training pretty intensely for the last 60 to 70 minutes.
And so if he doesn't have to go that intense because he's already been lifting weights for the last hour and he's already done 40 minutes of cardio in the morning, why is he now doing 15 to 20 minutes of cardio after lifting his weights? Does he need to do this? Is it somehow being beneficial for him? Does he perhaps have body dysmorphia? Is he trying to burn off all those calories he had at breakfast and at lunch? Remember, that's only 2 meals. Could he really be eating that much? I remember doing videos on The Rock in the past, and he was saying he was eating 6,000 or 7,000 calories a day. Now, you're thinking, he's 6'5", he's a very large man, he's very active. Of course he needs 6,000, 7,000. He doesn't need 6,000 or 7,000. You got guys like Mitchell Hooper, last year's World's Strongest Man, Arnold's Strongest Man champion, second at this year's World's Strongest Man. He doesn't ever consume 6,000 or 7,000 calories. He's 325 pounds. And so if Mitchell Hooper doesn't need that many calories, certainly don't think The Rock is eating 6,000 calories a day with shredded abs poking through his wet t-shirt.
So I do that, and then after that, I'll go have my shake, my post-workout shake. I think it's easy. It's the stuff that you guys probably do. 2 scoops of protein.
And so in that post-workout shake, he's consuming 2 scoops of protein and 35 grams of carbs. This is excellent. There's nothing wrong with this. The only thing is the science says you don't actually need it. You don't need to pound back that post-workout shake. But if you want to have it, there's nothing wrong with that.
And then I go down to my MMA training, and I'll get in the cage, and for about the next hour, 90 minutes or so, I'll become a student of the game.
And get this, he's not done yet. He now has to go for his 3rd workout of the day, 60 to 90 minutes of MMA training. And so how many of you think that 20-minute cardio session following the weightlifting session was all that important? Would it not be better to save that energy for the MMA fighting? You're literally doing cardio, interval training in the morning, you're lifting weights in the afternoon, then doing cardio, and then having to train in combat sports at night. At 52 years of age, while being perhaps 100% natural. And so is The Rock actually taking something in secret? Is he perhaps taking GO2 Max? How else can you explain The Rock having this much energy, able to maintain that kind of physique? He even has a 6-pack now. The Rock never even used to have abs. Even when he was in his younger years, never had a 6-pack. But now at 52, he suddenly found the answer.
So back-to-back training camps from pro wrestling to MMA. And we start shooting in a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait.
And so I'm certain at the end of the night after training, he's then going to eat again. And so let's count how many meals he's eating. He's having breakfast, he's having lunch, he's having a post-workout shake, and then about 30 minutes later, he's having meal 3, and he's eating before bed. How many of you think he's eating 6,000 or 7,000 calories? When you're getting shredded, you're not eating in the surplus. He's not bulking up. And so if you're interested in any of the supplements, perhaps you're 100% natural. We only sell natural supplements at my website. And remember, Turk Builder, which is oftentimes sold out, it is in fact back in stock. And of course, if you're interested in the cookbook, the training book, the Circle Diet book, Life Story, How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off for the Rest of Your Life, head over to my website. If you've got no money, get the free diet and training program. Join the over 300,000 newsletter subscribers. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost that algorithm. Also, like the video if you liked it, and please watch one of those 2 bloops. And until next time, I am out.